In this video, I'm going to show you how to customize your football boots using one of our sets and an iron that you have at home. Customized football boots are really popular at the moment. Examples such as the ones worn by James Maddison are really trendy. To make them as detailed as that is quite complicated and expensive, but there is some simple things you can do using our kits to make your boots stand out from the rest. In our sets, we send you all the things you need apart from the iron, so you get some heat tape, vinyl and silicone paper to use while making the application, and I'm going to show you how to put them onto your boots using these items. Make sure your boots are clean before doing so. Use the heat tape provided, and we'll give you a good few strips, but you can get away with just using the same two throughout, and pop it in either corner of the transfer. Get your transfer where you want it to go on the boot. Make sure it's a nice and flat surface. If you've got a surface that isn't flat or has got ridges in, which some boots do in other parts of the shoe nowadays, then it will be difficult. Once you're happy you've got it in the right place and it's pressed down, use the silicone paper that we provide you. And using your iron, which should be on high heat, you're going to use light to medium strength pressure and just use circular motions to move around whilst doing it. And you want to be doing that for about a minute. So yeah, just keep moving it across. You can tend to see through the tracing paper where it is. Once you've done it for that time, remove the heat tape, just pull it away and gently start to move the transfer off. Now if you see that it's starting to lift anywhere at all, and it might lift in a few places when you're bringing it off, that's okay. It just means probably not used enough pressure or just didn't quite get the right areas. So just pop the tape back down, go again. Don't peel it off, because once you peel it off, it'll be very difficult to get it back into a good finish. So pop it back down, do it again for as long as necessary, maybe another 15 to 30 seconds, and then check. And if it's good, you'll see that it'll come off nice and flat as it has done there. What I always like to do as well is just once I've actually broke the transfer away from it, is just to pop it back down and give it another 10 seconds just to make sure that it's nice and getting a good finish. And then you can move it away and that will be good to go. Next part, and this is for a double layered transfer. So if you were just doing a single layer, that would be your job done. But as it's a double layered, we're going to show you the difference. So just make sure you've got your layer that's going to go on top of it. You can use the same heat tape as I've done here, as it is reusable. And the thing with the heat tape as well, it's really important, is not to put the heat tape over the actual transfer detail. Make sure you just put it on a clear bit of the plastic, because what it will do is it will protect the transfer from the heat, which means it won't transfer onto the boot as we want it to. So once you've got your heat tape on the corners, you'll start seeing it. Now the good thing about this is you can move it into place. It's not going to stick down at this point, so you can move it around to make sure you've got it in the right position. Again, once you're happy, just firm down that heat tape to make sure it's going to stick there and not move around. You can use the same piece of silicone paper again, pop it over, keep it nice and flat, and again, go for about a minute to start with, just using the same technique as before. If you do have a smaller iron, such as a travel iron, you might find that easier to use, but I'm showing you this with the big iron because that is what most of us have around the house. So again, just keep going with the same technique, circular motions, around a minute again, and then once you're happy, just carefully, again, you're looking to see if anything lifts. So if nothing lifts, then you're good to carry on going. As soon as you notice anything lifting, that's when you want to go back down again. And again, just as we did before, there's no harm here in, and I always recommend it, just to lightly apply the heat transfer film on top, pop your silicone sheet on, and just give it a few more seconds just to make sure that we've got a really good adhesive to the shoe. Carefully take it away, and that is it done on the back there. As I briefly said earlier, if you are just applying a single layer transfer, such as the writing within the tick shown on the boots now, you are just doing the first step where you're popping it down and ironing it on once. I've shown you the double layer, as that's the more difficult. Thanks for watching. If you do want to purchase any of the vinyl that you've seen in this video, then I'll drop the link in the comments.